Welcome to the NPSC Podcast. I am today's host, Ron Lanton, and I am happy to be here with Pat Monaco, the President and CEO of NPSC. Welcome, Pat.
Good morning, Ron. How are you?
I'm doing well this morning, and I cannot think of a better place to be than our first NPSC podcast here with you.
Well, thank you so much. It's very exciting to be entering into a new phase of communication with those that know us and those that don't. And so I'm very excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, a new digital phase. Let's say that.
Absolutely.
So, for people who don't know NPSC, who is it?
The letters mean Northeast Pharmacy Service Corporation. We are located in Framingham, Massachusetts, and have been in the business of service and advocacy for independent community pharmacies since 1991. I joined the company in 1992. NPSC began as a GPO and a signature body of third-party contracts on behalf of the independent pharmacies in their network. Over the years, that work expanded to include regulatory affairs, legislative affairs, assisting with opening and selling of pharmacies, and generally taking on the role of 1-800-HELP. And I know that sort of sounds cliche-ish, but quite honestly, we are 1-800-HELP. So much has transpired in the business of pharmacy in the last 25 plus years, so that NPSC has positioned itself to assist our pharmacy network with anything having to do with the business of pharmacy. I'm having an audit. What should I do about this particular third-party plan? How do I find more employees? I need techs, I need pharmacists. Can you help me with an employee handbook? I mean, you name it, we get involved with it.
So you said since 1991, right?
That is correct.
That's been a long time.
Yes, it has. And a lot of growth and a lot of change.
And I'm sure you've seen a lot of things since 1991.
Yes, we wrote a 25-year sort of look back. It took us a number of months to try to include everything in there that had happened. But we sent that out to the network to try to just capture what has happened over those years. And it was jam-packed full of so much. These pharmacies have really had to deal with a lot of change over the years, most of which, quite honestly, I'm sorry to say, aren't things that are in their best interest, and potentially not necessarily in the best interest of their patients either. But, be it as it is, they choose to continue to care for patients and be there on the front line. And so, together we deal with those changes and how we can rise to the occasion to help them to deal with those changes.
If there's one field that I can think of that's resilient, it's community pharmacy.
No doubt, Ron, no doubt. I mean, they have taken it on the chin from the pharmacy benefit management companies, otherwise known as PBMs, for years, to the point where now, we know that a few months ago, we heard that the Federal Trade Commission is going to take the PBMs on and do a complete in-depth investigation on their business actions. And, we all in the business of pharmacy for any length of time sit here with our fingers and toes crossed, really hoping that something is done to control the antics. And I say that with all sincerity, the antics of these people that generally, for the most part, are just driving independent pharmacies out of business.
We definitely need a stronger FTC, and I think that's what they've kind of promised here.
Yes.
Recently, because they've been asleep for 30 years, and look what's happened. So
absolutely correct.
I'm happy to see that giant awake. So you mentioned since 1991, you guys help community pharmacies. And I guess one question that a retail pharmacist would be wondering, for those that don't know NPSC, is how do you guys help pharmacy?
We do a number of things. First of all, in the area of New England, which is predominantly where we have done our work over these years, we have field support consultants that work right with the store owners, go into their stores, have meetings with them on any of the issues that comes up in their business. These two people are equipped with a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. They're probably one of our best assets as as you look at, what do you provide your customers? They are our eyes and ears in the field. They are the ones that tell us what's going on out there that's affecting these stores. And in turn, we decide what we can do or not do to assist them. So additionally, at our office, we have a staff that can answer questions and provide guidance on a myriad of topics. We also have very useful resources, both online and on our website, that give the pharmacies all the information they need on opening a new store, being compliant with state and federal agencies, having the ability to learn what is going on in their state, and also the federal legislative agendas. NPSC provides tools, signage, and everything a store owner needs to operate and care for their patients without spending an immense amount of time or money trying to get this information on their own. I can tell you that I have spoken with pharmacies that, one of my field people have spent literally 4 hours with on the initial visit, calling me on the phone and saying, what do I owe you for this? I can't even imagine trying to open this store without your assistance. How could I have possibly found out all of this information and got all of this guidance? I mean, they're pretty much flabbergasted. And so this is after years and years of putting together the information, both that we've received from the state and from different agencies that know who we are, know that we're in the stores. And you end up in this network of information, and it is invaluable to our participating pharmacies.
I don't know how many pharmacies I've talked to in the past that say, I just don't have the time, to look this up. And it's great to just be able to pick up the phone and call somebody.
And that's the beauty of this, Ron, because in today's world, we all experience it's on the website. Go to the website, put in your username and password.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call you back. Give us 48 hours. I mean, we're all kind of sick of that, but that's where we are today. One of the things that Northeast prides itself in is that a person answers our phone. A person will get back to you within, usually, if the person isn't in the office that has the information this particular person wants, we reach out to them. We're complete access to our people all the time. And if there's an emergency, if there's something they absolutely need to know, we do whatever it, move heaven and earth to get them what they need for whatever's going on in their business. So the people portion of this business for me, because I am a people person and I understand that when you need an answer to a question, you don't want to be talking to an answering machine. You want a person. And we pride ourselves in that kind of customer support. I'm very pleased to be leading a team of professionals that have those same core principles as part of what they do as an employee of the company. As we take this very seriously. These folks are treating patients. They're on the front line. There's a lot going on. Certainly through COVID, it was a nightmare. And we were there to guide them, help them, give them the facts, and get them on the right path to caring for their patients.
Well, let me ask you this last question before we get to your contact information, because I'm sure a lot of pharmacies may have some questions, one about how to become part of the network, or for those that are part of the network, just day-to-day stuff. So we'll get to that in just a second. But I want to ask you, what are some of NPSC's highlights?
Well, I've talked about some of them already, but, we have resources that are long and deep. When you look at the whole basket of what a pharmacy has available to them once they're a participating pharmacy, this kind of depth of knowledge and information and resources are not available anywhere. No group provides to the stores the kind of information that we do across the board. We have a healthcare attorney that is available to our network stores for questions or concerns. NPSC pays for the first hour of service. I can't tell you how many stores have taken advantage of that and how much they appreciate that. We have monthly webinars that are free to our network stores to learn from and hear from experts on topics and issues of concern specifically geared to the independent owner. Many programs, many CEs that pharmacists get pushed into may be things that have nothing to do with what it is that they're doing on a daily basis. We position all of our education, whether it's our CE programs that we provide at our annual expo or now our monthly webinars, is focused directly at the business of pharmacy. These are issues, concerns these folks need answers to, they need help and direction for. And so if it isn't something that's meaningful to them, we won't do it. It's just to throw a CE for the sake of throwing a CE. No, it has to make sense for the independent owner. So right now, DASCA, DSCSA, is on our radar. And we are vetting third-party companies to find one to contract with that will provide the most benefit for the least cost. DASCA is complex, and the store's wholesaler is not going to do it all. Many pharmacies are trying not to think about what DASCA requirements are, but they are intense, and this isn't going away, and it has to be dealt with. So we have begun the education to our network on DASCA, as we have an electronic newsletter that goes out every 15 days. It was one of our key topics in our last newsletter, and we'll continue to guide our network through the process of getting them ready for DASCA until the requirement goes into force in November of 2023. We don't expect there'll be any extensions to that date, but one never knows. This was a congressional bill. It was not a federal bill. So you'd have to go back to Congress to get them to extend it, and nobody really wants to do that. I hope that kind of answers that for you, Ron.
I think it does. You guys do webinars, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I remember hearing about the monthly webinar series, and I know that we did one a little while ago, and that's going to be resumed here. And that's definitely one of the topics on the list is the DSCSA. Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we get a hold of you?
I have an email address, which is Pat, P-A-T, at Northeast Pharmacy, all one word, .com. I'm always on email, so if you were to send me something, just say, hi, I listened to your podcast, and I'll certainly open it up, put that in the subject line, and I'll certainly open it up right away. My office line is 508-875-1866, extension 122. I'm in the office 2 to 3 days a week and work from my home the other 2. So I am always connected 5 days a week in one way or another, and actually even on weekends sometimes. This has been an exciting opportunity to introduce NPSC here today, and I look forward to doing more of them going forward.
Me too. I think this was fun and definitely informative, and we will be doing these pretty often, highlighting maybe some different pharmacies or some industry speakers. So again, stay tuned on that. And with that, thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you, Ron, and thank you to everyone who's listening. We do appreciate it, and we look forward to working with our pharmacies that we have now and new ones in the future.